Okay, so even though I know that most of you are not going to probably know this, I decided because, first of all, it is very, very dark in here if you cannot tell. I hope you cannot tell, but it is. Second of all, because creepy ass. Third of all, because I like to comment on things that are adapted to other things. So, here's the video, I guess. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today I am going to be doing something that I don't usually do, but when I do it I like to think it's for the best, and that is a sort of book to adaptation comparison. And you will probably have seen what I'm going to talk about by the title of this video, but maybe most of you do not know the original material, which is why I decided to release this video into the world, because I have a firm belief that people should know this original material and should know also the series that it spawned. So let's get into it. So, as the title of this video might have prepared you for, I am going to be talking about the latest Netflix TV show adaptation called October Faction, and that came out on the 23rd. Yeah, on the 23rd of January, which by the time that I'm filming this, I hope that it's 1 week later by the time that I post it, I mean. And October Faction is a really cool show. I really enjoyed it. It only has 10 episodes, although they're only 45 minutes each, so you have plenty of time to watch it. It's already all out as per Netflix usual, and it is based on a sort of graphic novel series, which I do not know if it's ended, but the beginning of it is pretty cool, and I decided to catch you up on it and actually talk to you about how it is and all of that great stuff. So, first of all, let me introduce you to what the actual series is based upon, and then we will discuss about the adaptation. So, the series October Faction is based on the graphic novels The October Faction, which are written and illustrated by Steve Niles and Damien Worm, and these are supposed to be a sort of Monster Hunter, sort of creepy, gothic, gory sort of graphic novels. I will proceed to introduce you to them. I only have 3 of the traits, and I do believe that there's more, but I only read the first 3, and I do believe that it's enough for me to give a based opinion on the series and on the graphic novels. So, as you can see, this is the first volume, and you can see it's creepy and dark. Then you have the second volume, which proceeds to be creepy and dark as well, and then you have the third volume, which is creepy, aesthetic, and also dark. So, you can see there's a pattern here, but for the sense of not breaking my arms, I will only be using this one as my thingy to show you. So, October Faction, the graphic novel, is about this family with a dad, a mom, and 2 kids. And the dad and the mom are supposed to be monster hunters. Like, monsters are real, vampires, werewolves, creepy creatures, zombies, whatever, are real, and they are monster hunters, and they hunt these things and they try to eradicate them, basically. And the children want to be a part of the family trait, and so they start to develop interesting powers in order to participate in this family trait. And it's basically your normal Monster Hunter story, but creepy and dark. And the art of this is why I love it so much. First of all, the palette of colors is amazing, and it's a gothic girl dream. The way that the characters are drawn, I just love them. They're also, you know, that Tim Burton sort of feel, because they're all very skinny and very limby and very strange. That's the feel you have here. You have a lot of different cool illustrations at the end of the thing. And I really, really do enjoy it. And I have to say that if you're going to pick this up for any reason whatsoever, the art. The story is nice, but that's the point that I really wanted to make, is that these are sort of have a base plot of sorts, but are sort of like people go to these families and they ask them, like, we have this problem, or they have some enemies from past situations, and so it's just them and their monster of the day and trying to solve the situation and trying to still be a family. It doesn't have a specific major back plot, at least in the 3 first volumes, although there are things that are happening that we are not told why, and I would assume that it would have something to do with a story later on, but these first ones, in order to capture your attention, I do believe that it will be most if you like just gore, dysfunctional families, and monster hunters, and that will be the thing for you to read these. Now, in comparison with the TV show also starts with the basic premise of these traits. And that premise is the dad and the mom are monster hunters, but in this case, they belong to a major society of human monster hunters. And the kids don't really know that they are monster hunters, and they keep that to themselves, which right there, it changes something in the premise, because in the original work, the graphic novels, the kids do want to be monster hunters, and they know that that exists and that their parents are monster hunters. And in this case, it's a secret, and it's something that will play as a plot device later on, which secrets normally do. And so these kids move around a lot. They think that their dads are like real estate agents of a sort, and they are always moving until in the show their grandfather dies, the dad's father, and they have to return for the funeral to the family house, and a bigger major plot starts to proceed. I don't want to spoil you, just for the reason that although it was not one of my favorite shows of all time, it was very bingeable and very watchable, and I really enjoyed what they did to the characters. There's a lot of problems that are addressed, and that I do believe that have something to do with the being a family nowadays, and sometimes things that you cannot share but you really should have shared, if you know what I mean. It handles a dysfunctional family as well, and it handles it great. I really thought that it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And the main difference between the graphic novels and the TV show is that the TV show does have a specific plot that goes from the first episode until the last one, and a plot that you can follow. It's not very hard, but it's not excessively easy as well. It has some plot twists, although, to be honest, I could see them coming in a way. So it's not the most out-of-the-box sort of show, but it is a show that if you enjoy, for instance, Supernatural, where you have monster hunters and monsters and creepy things happening, that you can enjoy. You have 2 teenagers struggling to find their place in the family. You have 2 parents struggling to try to figure out how to involve them in their lives without lying to them, but protecting them at the same time. And you have a society that does not know that demons, vampires, and wizards and monsters are real, and they can be dangerous. Or are they really dangerous? And the thing that the graphic novel started, but I don't think that it finished it well, although I haven't read everything that is out, I believe, so I cannot say with all of the certainty that it doesn't do it after these 3 first volumes. The thing with the graphic novel is that there's the situation where it poses the question of who are the real monsters? And it kind of leaves that in the air. But in the TV series, you go from that premise into who are the real monsters? The different creatures or the humans by themselves, and the prejudice that they carry throughout the other people. And the fact is that the TV show did that way better than the graphic novels do, because the graphic novels are fun in a way, because believe me, there's a lot of trigger warnings and they're not fun per se, but they're fun if you enjoy dark art and if you enjoy seeing some gothic sort of vibe and monsters and hunters and some blood, and it's the case of the day sort of thing, and it's very interesting, but it doesn't have that base thread that we can follow and that we can enjoy by the sake of enjoying it. And that is a point that I have to give to the TV show. I really enjoyed what they did with the story that they had to progress and to pick up some of the things, because a lot of the things that are in the graphic novels, the better part of the graphic novels, are in the TV show. And although the TV show sometimes takes some loops of situations, it is very interesting to see what they do with the base material. And I'm a person that doesn't normally enjoy that the base material is used in some little bits and pieces and not in its entirety, because most of the things that you find that are better explained in the books are not explained then in the movies or TV shows. But in this case, they did it better. They picked up some of the lines that were left floating around in the graphic novels, and they did a TV show with a thread. So I would advise you to really pick up the graphic novels just so that you can see the art and read a little bit about it and have that creepy, dark sort of vibe for the dark days. But I would say that if you really want to, you should watch the TV show, because if any of these things are some things that might be your cup of tea, like, I don't know, give it a shot. It was cool. If it was my favorite series of all time, absolutely not. Will I rewatch it? Probably not. Did I enjoy it? And am I talking about that with you? Yes. So I don't really like when series that are nice and entertaining and bingeable just pass by, especially when you have the opportunity to know it and through it to know the base material. And for that reason, I would alone recommend you to just watch the show. And if you find the show interesting, you can just read the books and explore more of the day-to-day sort of cases that they have. Because I have to say that one thing that wasn't as great as the TV show, in the TV show as the graphic novels, is that in the graphic novels they are way more badass, all of the characters, than in the actual TV show. So that's all that I'm going to say. So if you want to watch badass monster hunters, that's your thing. And yeah, but there's a lot of plots, male romance in there. There's a lot of discussion about racism, but mainly discussion about prejudice against others, other cultures and other forms of living and other people in a way. And it's really very interesting. There's a lot of different powers and situations that arise. I don't know, I really like it. And there's a diversity of cast, which is also very nice, I believe. And yeah, I think that you should just give it a shot. Just watch it if you don't have anything to watch and you didn't know that this series is out since the 23rd of January. I'm just here to be your friendly reminder to watch TV shows on Netflix, because you don't do that, do you? So that's going to be all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was just a little wake-up call for you to just go watch the show and see the base material, because the base materials that we have access to sometimes are not the best. And I was really, really happy that they chose a graphic novel that I really enjoy so much and made it like a compliment to the thing. So I think that you really should pick up the original material and should read it, should watch the show. It's interesting, it's nice to just get away sometimes. So yeah, that's going to be all for today, and happy readings, and in this case, TV watching as well for you all. Bye!